Imagine showing up to work, performing your job perfectly, and hitting every single target your boss sets for you. Now imagine that your reward for all that hard work is a demotion and a pay cut. That exact scenario is playing out right now for half of India's states. They followed national guidelines perfectly, and because of that success, they are facing a massive loss of political power and funding in the year 2026. To understand why, we have to look at a process called delimitation. This map shows how a democracy redraws its electoral boundaries. The goal is to balance the zones so that every politician represents roughly the same number of people, ensuring that every citizen's vote carries equal weight. Decades ago, India faced an exploding population. To prevent a crisis, the national government urgently asked all the states to implement family planning policies and slow their growth. The states in the south successfully met those targets, and their population numbers level out. Meanwhile, states in the north continue to grow rapidly. Because voting power is tied to population, the southern states realized their reward for stabilizing their population would be a massive loss of political representation. The national government saw the math problem. Strictly redrawing the map meant taking seats away from the south simply because they had fewer babies. To keep the peace, the government hit the pause button. In 1976, they legally froze the allocation of seats in parliament, basing everyone's voting power on the old 1971 census data. This compromise locked the balance of power in place. For decades, a state's political influence remained exactly the same, no matter how much its actual population grew or shrank. Pausing the clock saved the union in the short term. However, it completely separated actual population numbers from political representation, setting up a massive mathematical collision for the future. That pause button has an expiration date. In 2026, the freeze ends, forcing the country to finally redraw its map using modern population data. For northern states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, the math is simple. They have massive populations and desperately need more representation and infrastructure. They argue that one person, one vote is a basic democratic right. Down south, states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu see a looming punishment. They achieved high literacy rates, developed their economies, and controlled their populations, and now they face the prospect of losing dozens of seats because of it. This map illustrates what happens if we strictly follow the math today. We see a massive transfer of power, with substantial seats physically leaving the south and stacking up in the north. Applying strict mathematical equality to individual voters right now directly threatens the balance of power between the states. This conflict goes well beyond voting seats. It bleeds directly into the nation's wallet, specifically how the Finance Commission divides up national tax revenues among the states. Watch the updated math. Switching from the 1971 to 2011 census, the southern state's tax slice visibly shrinks, while the northern slice expands. To soften the blow, a demographic performance bonus slice rewards low birth rates. But because this is multiplied by baseline population, the massive northern populations swallow the funds anyway, completely dwarfing the South's bonus. To complicate things further, southern states generate a massive share of the country's wealth. They are effectively funding the very states that are poised to take over their political power. Under the current rules, the states that met all their development goals are forced into a corner, paying for their own loss of federal influence. How do you solve a problem where both sides have a valid point? The country needs a system that rewards responsible governance while ensuring every citizen's vote counts equally. The first path forward is to grow the pie. This means expanding the physical parliament, adding enough total seats so that the North gains new representation without the South having to lose the seats they currently hold. While that prevents immediate losses, it doesn't fix the long-term math. Even if the South keeps their absolute number of representatives, the North's overall percentage of power still grows, continually diluting the South's voice over time. The second path is a model called digressive proportionality. Take a look at this stepped chart. Under this system, every state gets a guaranteed base number of seats. But to earn additional seats, massive states have to hit exponentially more difficult population thresholds. This approach steps away from strictly counting heads. It guarantees that smaller states keep a meaningful voice and prevents a few massive states from entirely dominating the legislature. Relying strictly on raw population numbers in 2026 risks fracturing the cooperative bonds that hold the country together. Moving forward requires a hybrid approach. The country can expand the parliament while also using weighted formulas that respect both human populations and developmental achievements. A true federal democracy relies on a delicate balance. It means ensuring that every region feels heard, respected, and above all, never penalized for its own success.